Quibi. Imagine this. You've got $1.75 billion in cash. You've hired the biggest celebrities in the world. You launch your new streaming service right when everyone is stuck at home during a pandemic, desperate for new shows to watch. And somehow, you still fail completely in just 6 months. That's exactly what happened to Quibi in 2020. The idea was quick bites of video. That's what Quibi means. Shows that were only 10 minutes long, designed to watch on your phone while waiting for coffee or riding the bus. Hollywood big shot Jeffrey Katzenberg and former eBay boss Meg Whitman were behind it. They got stars like Jennifer Lopez, LeBron James, and Steven Spielberg to make shows. They spent millions on Super Bowl ads. But there was a huge problem. Nobody wanted it. You couldn't watch it on your TV, you couldn't take screenshots, and you had to pay $5 a month when TikTok and YouTube were free. Plus, who wants to start a new show while waiting in line for coffee? By October 2020, just half a year after launching, Quibi announced they were shutting down. They returned some money to investors and sold their shows to Roku. They had spent about $1.2 billion for basically nothing. Talk about burning cash fast. Juicero. Okay, picture this. You pay $400 for a fancy juicer. But this isn't just any juicer. It only works with special juice bags that cost $5 to $8 each and need to be delivered to your home. The machine connects to Wi-Fi. Yes, a juicer with internet. And won't work if the subscription service is down. Then one day, reporters at Bloomberg try squeezing the juice bags with their bare hands and discover you can get the exact same juice without the $400 machine. Oops. That's the real story of Juicero, possibly the most mocked startup ever. Silicon Valley investors were so excited that they poured $120 million into this ridiculous idea. The founder, Doug Evans, actually compared himself to Steve Jobs, saying his juicer was like the first iPhone. He even claimed the machine used 4 tons of force to squeeze juice, apparently less force than human hands. When the hand-squeezing video went viral, Juicero became a laughingstock overnight. They desperately cut the price from $699 to $399, but it was too late. Just 16 months after launching, Juicero shut down in September 2017. All those millions wasted on a machine that did what your hands could do for free. Yik yak. This app lets you post messages that only people within 5 miles could see without showing your name. College students went absolutely crazy for it in 2014. Want to complain about your professor? Yik yak. Have a crush on someone in your dorm? Yik yak. Bored in class? Yik yak. Investors were throwing money at the founders, 2 frat brothers who came up with the idea. They raised $73.5 million, and at its peak, Yik Yak was valued at $400 million. But then, things got ugly. Without names attached to posts, people started saying really mean, hateful stuff. Death threats, racist comments, bullying. It got so bad that high schools and colleges started banning the app. When there's no accountability, people show their worst sides. In a panic, Yik Yak tried adding usernames to stop the hate speech, but that killed the whole point of being anonymous. Users disappeared in droves. By 2017, just 3 years after starting, Yik Yak was dead. They sold their leftovers to Square for a measly $1 million. From $400 million to almost nothing in about a year. Now that's what I call a crash. Pets.com. You might not remember Pets.com, but you probably remember their mascot, that talking sock puppet dog from their Super Bowl commercial. Launched in 1998 during the .com craze, Pets.com had a business plan that a 5-year-old could tell you wouldn't work. Sell heavy bags of pet food online at super low prices with free shipping. Here's how bad their math was. For every $1 of pet food they sold, they lost $1.70. You don't need an MBA to see the problem there. After their big IPO in February 2000, where they raised $82.5 million, Pets.com collapsed in November of the same year, just 9 months later. Their stock started at $11 and fell to 19 cents before they pulled the plug. The craziest part? Their silly sock puppet mascot became more famous than the company. The puppet even appeared on Good Morning America and got its own Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloon, while the company was actively going broke. They burned through $300 million to make less than $20 million in sales. Zano. In 2014, a company called Torquing Group promised an amazing mini drone that would follow you around taking selfies, avoid obstacles automatically, and shoot HD video. Their promo videos looked incredible. More than 12,000 people rushed to back it, making it Europe's most funded Kickstarter project ever. But after the money rolled in, things got suspiciously quiet. Deadlines kept getting pushed back. When they finally shipped about 600 of the 15,000 promised drones, customers were shocked. The Zanos barely flew, the app crashed constantly, and the video quality was terrible. By November 2015, just 11 months after their Kickstarter success, Torquing Group went bust. The company director resigned, blaming health issues. An investigation later found they had way oversold what they could actually build. Those 12,000 backers? They got absolutely nothing except a hard lesson about crowdfunding risks. Klinkle. What if you could raise $25 million for a company without ever clearly explaining what it actually does? That's exactly what 22-year-old Stanford student Lucas Duplan did with Klinkle in 2013. This kid somehow convinced major Silicon Valley investors to give him millions for a payment app that nobody could really explain. Something about using sound waves to transfer money? Nobody seemed to know for sure. After getting all this cash, Klinkle faced delay after delay. Meanwhile, employees kept quitting like rats from a sinking ship. Many described Duplan as an inexperienced, arrogant leader who would drive around in a Lamborghini while the company was struggling. When the app finally launched in 2015, it was nothing like what was promised, just a basic prepaid debit card with a rewards program. Within 4 years, Klinkle had burned through all its cash and disappeared completely. The company became such a joke that pulling a Klinkle became Silicon Valley slang for overhyped, under-delivered startup nonsense. BP wanted to be the Airbnb of used cars. Founded in 2013, they created an online marketplace where people could buy and sell used cars without ever meeting face-to-face. They'd inspect the cars, handle all the paperwork, and even deliver with a big bow on the hood. Investors loved it, pouring in $150 million. At its peak, BP was valued at $525 million and operating in 16 cities. So what went wrong? In simple terms, they spent money like crazy people. They were burning through $7 million every month. Their office had custom-built furniture, tons of snacks, and even an in-house barista making fancy coffee. Former employees said the founders acted like the money would never run out. When BP tried to raise even more cash in 2016, investors finally took a close look at their books and ran for the hills. After failing to secure a merger, they shut down in 2017, just 4 years after starting. About 270 employees lost their jobs overnight. From worth over $500 million to selling off furniture for pennies, BP crashed faster than a car with cut brake lines. Color Labs. Imagine this crazy scenario. You launch a photo-sharing app that nobody understands how to use. Before you even launch, you raise $41 million. That's exactly what happened with Color Labs in 2010. Founded by serial entrepreneur Bill Nguyen, Color was supposed to be revolutionary. It would automatically share photos with anyone physically near you who also used the app. The problem? It was super confusing, and if nobody around you had the app, which they didn't, it was completely useless. The launch was a disaster. Users gave it terrible reviews, saying they had no idea how to use it. Color tried changing direction multiple times, first becoming a Facebook-connected app, then trying to be a live video sharing tool with Verizon. Nothing worked. Just 18 months after their big launch, Color shut down completely. Apple bought some of their engineers and patents for about $7 million, a fraction of what they raised. To burn through $41 million in less than 2 years takes serious talent for wasting money. 37 coins. Bitcoin is complicated, right? Well, 37 Coins wanted to make it simple enough for everyone to use, even people in developing countries with basic phones. Started in 2013, this ambitious startup planned to create a Bitcoin wallet system that would work through simple text messages. No smartphone required. Their goal was to bring cryptocurrency to people without bank accounts in places like Africa and Southeast Asia. They raised funding, they never disclosed how much, and got lots of attention in the Bitcoin community. The founders traveled to places like Ghana and the Philippines to test their idea. But they hit a huge roadblock. SMS gateways, the systems that handle text messages in developing countries, are super complicated, unreliable, and different in every country. After 2 years of trying to make it work, 37 Coins posted a goodbye message in 2015. Unlike most failed startups, they actually did something honorable. They returned the remaining investor money instead of burning through it all. From launch to shutdown in just 2 years, 37 Coins showed that even great intentions can't overcome technical realities. Washio, Uber for laundry, sounds awesome, right? No more trips to the laundromat or dry cleaner. Just tap an app and someone picks up your dirty clothes and brings them back clean. That was Washio's pitch when they launched in 2013. They even gave customers a cookie with each delivery as a sweet little bonus. The service expanded to 6 cities after raising $16.8 million from investors. But dirty clothes turned out to be a dirty business. The biggest problem? The math just didn't work. Sending drivers to pick up and deliver small batches of laundry was super expensive. Plus, unlike Uber rides, most people don't need their laundry done every day or even every week. In 2016, just 3 years after launching, Washio suddenly shut down with barely any warning. Customers with clothes still in the system panicked, trying to figure out how to get their stuff back. The company had cleaned over 1 million pounds of laundry but couldn't clean up its messy finances. Competitors like Rinse bought their customer list for cheap, proving that sometimes being first in a market just means making all the mistakes first, while others learn from watching you fail. From ridiculous juicers to drones that never flew, these spectacular startup failures remind us of one thing: having millions in funding and a flashy idea doesn't guarantee success. Sometimes the bigger they are, the harder and faster they fall. Did you enjoy this breakdown? Then hit the subscribe button for more like this.